Maybe no town along the coast in all of South Carolina has more positive momentum going than the folks up in Port Royal. And Mayor Phillips is joining us here on WHHI. Mayor, you guys have kind of got things moving in the right direction. You have had some fits and starts over the last couple of years, but development in Port Royal is alive and well, and yet fairly well controlled.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been a lot of hard work by staff, council, the citizens of Port Royal by engaging with us and making their concerns and their ideas and desires known. And then, like I said, just council and staff working hard with our partners at Safe Harbor Marinas is who you're talking about.
Yeah, let's talk about Safe Harbor. There's been some back and forth over the last few years. Folks might be alarmed by that, but that sort of happens. And then
yes, sir.
now you're on the same page.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, Safe Harbor purchased this property right here that sits on the port, Battery Creek area right in Port Royal. So it's a magnificent piece of property. We're all very excited about what that means to the future of the town. They purchased that back in 2020, closed in 2021. Some work has been done. But then, as plans were initially coming out, we had some initial concerns about those initial plans. Mm-hmm. So we kind of, recently put our foot down and said, this does not fit with the ideas that we all had and where we thought this was going. It's just like any relationship. At first, you kind of got to get to know each other, Yeah. I always joke, it's when you first meet somebody, it's all good, but then you get to know them and you go, well, we need to talk about this. We need to work on this.
Like so any relationship, yeah.
Absolutely. And this is going to be a long-term relationship. Of course, the town of Port Royal is 150 years old and we're not going anywhere. And Safe Harbor is going to be our partners for the foreseeable future. So this really is a partnership. And we talked about that and we realized that, we need to work together. We all have the same goal in mind. We want to create the best product that we can for the town and for them. We want them to be successful as well. But we also want to make this something that we're all proud of. So, after that initial kind of getting to know each other phase. We worked really hard last year with Safe Harbor, engaging in many negotiations, and ultimately came up with what we have now, a settlement agreement that we then just voted on at our last meeting to finalize as an amendment to our development agreement, really laying out everybody's roles and responsibilities and the plans going forward. And we're very, very excited about that.
What's your favorite part of the new project?
My favorite part of the new project is that it is going to provide so much access to the public. Okay. It is a privately owned piece of property. Right. So it's very different from situations, like the city of Beaufort has Henry Chambers Waterfront Park. That's a public park. Right. This is private property that was owned. So there is going to be an element of ownership and private ownership of Safe Harbor where they're going to be running a dry stack and a marina and boat operations, and that's fine. But at the same time, this is going to open up. It's going to include, walking promenades across the water. It's going to include restaurants for people to enjoy, over an acre of open civic space for people to enjoy. And that's one of the things that's always been very important to us in Port Royal is connectivity. We don't want any part of the town to feel like it's not part of the town. It's all one town and it needs to feel that way. It needs to be connected through bike paths, walking paths, golf carts, however people want to travel. They need to be able to access all of the town. And at the same time, we want people to have access to the water, which is something that's so instrumental, not to us, but this whole region, of course, in Beaufort County. But Port Royal as a town, we sit right there at that at the cusp of the Beaufort River and Battery Creek. Yep. And so we just want people to be able to enjoy the things that Port Royal has to offer. And one of those things is the natural, God-given beauty that is created here in Port Royal.
Kevin, this is all great information and insight. I want to talk more about Port Royal's growth and what you've got coming up on the horizon. We need to stick in a quick break here, and then we will be right back. Stay with us.